this video, we're going to be looking at every suburb in Logan City Council. We're going to be looking at the data for a 3-bedroom home as well as 4-bedroom homes, breaking down a suburb by suburb comparison, looking at the most expensive 3-bedroom suburbs, the most expensive 4-bedroom suburbs, as well as the cheapest, and talking about the value propositions in Logan City Council. Now, Logan tends to get a bad rep across the property investing space. And people are saying, what, I used to be able to buy a house in Logan for 300 grand, and now they're 700K. There's no way you buy in Logan. Now, Logan is a massive local government area with 70 suburbs. So it's not a small location. And I actually grew up in Logan, so it's got a special place in my heart. But to be perfectly honest, I didn't grow up in the lower socioeconomic areas of Logan. I grew up in a upper class area in Logan called Daisy Hill. And so there's different pockets, and there's always pockets within pockets. Logan is located on the south side of Brisbane, starting around Rochedale South, which is roughly around 18 to 20 kilometres south of Brisbane CBD, and then all the way down stretches towards the hinterland of the Gold Coast. So it's a huge area. But I think it's important to look at because of affordability and because there's some interesting areas that could still be between, say, $550,000 to $700,000 for homeowners, for first home buyers, for investors to still break into the property market. And even those areas which are $700,000, $800,000, $900,000, there can still be some great value buying. Now, if you saw late last year, I actually made my last property purchase in Logan City Council, and I bought in a suburb called Shayla Park. We bought a block that was on over 1,000 square meters. So there is opportunity for you to buy bigger blocks here, potentially subdivide or build granny flats. So this is another reason to potentially look at these Logan suburbs. But I'm not going to keep you, waiting for the data any longer. Let's take a look at this list of information and break it down in some meaningful ways by sorting through these lists and working out what's expensive, what's cheap, and where value might lie at this point in time. So my wonderful team here at Purpose Property have put together this data, and we've tried to make it meaningful to everyday Australians. So we've pulled from the biggest real estate website, which is realestate.com. So you can go and try and verify these numbers to your own data sets and build out data sets like this through manipulation of what's available online. So here you can see at the top, we've got the number, the suburb number, the name. We've got the domain, 3-bedroom medium price point. We've got the realestate.com 4-bedroom medium price point and the domain 4-bedroom. And it's quite easy, interesting to compare each of these different options. And then what I might do is the average of the lot. So this says house median all, but I'm going to insert a column here and do the average of all these numbers. Now you see on screen, there's gaps in the data. So places like Bannockburn, Bellevue. These are suburbs that are barely established, or they're rural and they have a very low volume of sales, or there's just not sufficient data on these pages at this point in time for the latest quarter of information. So some of the websites will give you an idea. Like if you look at Carbrook or Cedar Creek, these are larger properties generally. And so you can see here that it's 1.5 or 1,070,000, but they don't have any 3 to 4-bedroom data. Now, when you're looking to buy property, you're going to want enough, comparable sales, and you're going to want enough demand in these established areas to compare to. So you're probably going to be ruling out some of these regional properties or these larger plots of rural type properties, unless you can get a good deal and you're looking for that specifically. So let's just start across the board and look at the cheapest suburbs in Logan City Council. So on screen here, you can see the top 15 cheapest suburbs. Now, this is across the board based on the 3-bedroom and 4-bedroom properties. You can still see here that there are 12 suburbs that have an average 3 and 4-bedroom price less than $700,000. So if you're a first home buyer, look at these locations. Of course, you want to avoid flood, you want to avoid fire, landslide, or even if you're an investor, there's pockets in here that could be worth looking at. I know, for example, Woodridge tends to have a very bad reputation, as well as Logan Central. Yarrabilla tends to be quite out from the city, and it's a new build area. But these other suburbs in here, where you've got Kingston, Beenleigh, Eagleby, Crestmead, Waterford, Homeview, Baronia Heights, Waterford West, Logan Reserve, not so great. There's a lot of new builds. Bethania and Eden's Landing, these are all suburbs that I've talked about in the past, which are established areas, and you can buy around that $700,000 to $650,000. There is going to come a time in the next 6 to 12 to 18 months that I think you won't be able to buy a house, even in Logan, with that average below 700K. And the state government is going to need to provide more concessions, and the federal government's going to need to provide more incentives for first-time buyers to break into the housing market. But what's more likely to happen is they're going to have to go to townhouses and units, which is only going to drive up the demand for houses that people actually want. People want to be in houses. We've got all this land here in Australia. We just can't create enough supply in these established areas. It's too expensive to build. It's too expensive to bring land to market, and it takes years to do. So with these established suburbs that we're looking at in this cheapest 15 list, my recommendations would be look at the Crestmead, the Beanleys, the Eaglebees, the Waterfords and the Homeviews, where you've got these established locations, which are generally built out between the 1980s to, 2005s, and you still can buy at an affordable price point. Of course, there's a lot more research you can do rather than just looking at median prices, but a median price could be the place that you can start in your own data analytics and research to find out what you can afford. Because as I say with all of our clients, price is our limiting factor. For most people, we have a few clients that it might not be the limiting factor, but for most everyday Australians, you're going to have a limit with the broker and bank that might be 600, might be 700,000, might be $1 million. And so you need to work out what suburbs and what locations you can afford, and then look to make the best investing decision from there. So let's just look at the cheapest data from a 3-bedroom price point. So you can see here that 15 changes a whole lot. So it's interesting to see that Logan Reserve drops way out down that list, and that's now sitting at number 26, and that's because there's a lot of new builds in an area like Logan Reserve, and so the 3-bedroom median's a lot higher than some of the more established areas. Yarrabilba, also a new build area. Woodridge, there's a few subdivisions and things like that for 3-bedders. That's why those price points will be getting cheaper, because the new build stock is still trying to capture that investor and that first home buyer market. For my money, I'd be looking around these kind of ones here in that 640 to 700K range. Really interesting buying. Browns Plains is a great example. Logan Home, always a great opportunity location-wise. So in that top kind of 20, there's some great options there to still buy at or below $700,000 here in Southeast Queensland. Again, it comes down to the street, the suburb, the underlying data, the ability to force value, the ability to add a granny flat for cash flow in the future if you're looking at that holistic strategy. But this is certainly opening up some options for people who might have thought that you can't afford to buy in these locations. Let's flip the script and look at the most expensive now in terms of Logan. $1.23 million in Logan. Well, Tamborine's a beautiful spot. Tamborine's actually the place that Emily and I got married. We got married in the Tamborine hinterland at Albert River Winery. Such a beautiful location. It's an area with a lot of land, and so Tamborine's scarce if you want to live on the mountain, so I can understand why that's quite expensive. The other ones at the top of the list, Underwood, Springwood. Wow, Logan Village. That's a real surprise to me that it's got 3 bedrooms up near the $900,000 price point. These are going to be brand new builds, essentially. Rochelle South, 900K. Daisy Hill, my old stomping ground. You now have to pay close to 900K for a 3-bedroom house in Daisy Hill. And Shayla Park sitting at $870,000. You can see there's some discrepancies here between the real estate and the domain data. That's why it's important to look at multiple data sets. So you can see real estate's showing a fair bit higher. Domains valuations or sale prices are a fair bit down. Basically, there's a 40K disparity between a lot of the price points. So you could draw a line in the middle and make some assumptions, but quite interesting to see those top 10 most expensive areas. So Shayla Park here, Shayla Park is sitting at number 7. So the property that I bought is the 7th most expensive out of 70 options in Logan City Council. Now, those median price points for a 3-bedder are now $870,000 according to real estate and $830,000 according to domain. And the 4-bedroom prices are $1,040,000 to $1,035,000 for the 4-bedroom homes in Shayla Park. So my strategy with our latest purchase, which is property number 5 in our property portfolio, is about manufacturing value by adding a secondary dwelling, maybe subdividing at some point, with that dwelling potentially being a full-sized house. And so there's lots of options there. So some of these more expensive suburbs, I've talked recently about Rochelle South. That was in our top 5 suburb list this year that came out from our team and myself at Purpose Property. We've got Springwood on the list, which has always been a hub for Logan City Council. They've got the busway, the shops, the infrastructure. So these more expensive suburbs are expensive for a reason. They've got the schools, they've got the owner-occupiers, they've generally got higher land values, and if you can get bigger land sizes, that's where you can outperform because you're holding the land, which is going to appreciate over time, and the building's going to depreciate over time as well. So to round up around those expensive 3-bedders, Park Ridge is quite interesting as well. It's a new build area, so these new builds for 3-bedroom homes are getting very expensive. They're looking to target the top end of what first-time buyers and investors want to pay. So that's $700K. You can see that's the split point between 3-bedders here, and that's quite an interesting thing. I would never really personally buy in these new build estates, but some people might want to. And Tanamera creeping in at number 10 at $750,000. So when you compare Logan to western suburbs of Sydney or some newer areas in Melbourne, Logan's still probably far more affordable than southwest or western Sydney. But there will be a point, because Logan's located between Brisbane and the Gold Coast, that these areas, especially these more expensive suburbs which sit along the M1, are $1 million. And people are going to go, how is a suburb in Logan $1 million? Nothing's quite hit $1 million yet at the 3-bedroom level. Shayla Park's hitting it at the 4-bedroom level. So let's take a look at those 4-bedroom levels. So you can see here, again, Tamborine's a bit of an outlier, but Underwood, $980. $950 for Springwood, $950 Logan Village, close to $1 million in Rochelle South. Daisy Hill, $970. $1,040,000 in Shayla Park, because there's some nice big homes in that suburb. $995 in Cornubia. Park Ridge and Tanamera wrapping out the top 10 of that $743 and $830. So the top 7 or 8 there are almost at a 4-bedroom level, hitting $1 million price point. If you told me 10 years ago, when I was 20 years old, that my home suburb, Daisy Hill, would hit $1 million price point, I'd say you're crazy. But as an accountant and as a buyer's agent, I'm now building up my personal property portfolio to $8 million, which is astronomical for me to understand. And there's guys out there with 10, 15, I heard of guys recently with $20 million property portfolios, which I don't think I want to sacrifice my lifestyle or my family or my friends or my free time to grow to 20 million. I think, there's ebb and flow with all that. But seeing those numbers hit $1 million in Logan is monumental. And so if you can buy below the median price points in these areas, you can buy forcing a bit of value, you can buy with inherent value on the way in, and you can maybe add cash flow at a later date. You're ticking so many boxes from my point of view. I say to people all the time, look at my situation in my property portfolio. We're now sitting at 4 houses in southeast Queensland, 2 in the inner middle ring and 2 in the outer ring. And we've also got the unit block in Coffs Harbour. So the total value of all those properties is around $8 million. If the market goes up by 10%, which might take a year, might take 2 years, if it goes up by 10%, I make $800,000 of market value. No, I can't use the $800,000 of equity to go to Woolies and Coles and go on holidays, but I could refinance those properties and leverage off that equity. I could, with that increased market value, get increased rents over time because rents tend to trail the capital growth. And so there's ability or to sell down, which I've done in my property portfolio journey as well. So that's where buying with the picture of compound growth over the long term in your vision and seeing that these areas started at $200K 20 years ago and are now at $1 million and probably will be 1.5 in the next 5 to 10 years, it's hard to overcome conceptually, but once you understand the power of compounding, the money printing that's happening in Australia's economy, the trajectory of all world economies, then you don't want to have your money in cash. You want to be owning assets that are going to compound and grow over time. So let's flip the script and take a look at the cheapies in that 4-bedroom category, because I think that'd be quite interesting as well. So this is kind of unbelievable that you could still potentially buy a 4-bedroom place for under $700,000. But the data says it's possible. Now, the concern here is land size. Are these locations, Yarrabilba, Beenleigh, where they're getting a median of a 4-bedder on 680K? You know, Waterford West, for example, is an area that could have a lot of new builds in some pockets. Are these on 200, 300, 450 square meter blocks? I would much rather buy in a Baronia Heights for 710K and know that if I'm getting a 4-bedder, I'm getting 600 square meters plus. Or Browns Plains, can I buy an 800 square meter corner block and get more disparity? Now, if you're looking to do a conversion or a renovation, that's where you need disparity between these options. So if you can buy a 630K house in Eden's Landing, but then renovate it for 50K and create a 4-bedroom, you might be able to get a significant uplift because the median there is around 760. You do that in, Beenleigh, you're not getting as big a disparity. So that's important analysis if you're looking to do a 3 to 4-bedroom conversion between properties. I'll take a look at Shayla Park if I can find it. Where are you? Here it is. Take a look at Shayla Park. If you can get into a house at 830K and you can get up towards the median of $1 million, that's an even greater disparity than what we were talking about up here. So look at the disparity between 3-bedroom and 4-bedroom homes, and there can be a lot of value in that data and analytics. So I've just taken the data sets and done just that. I've taken 4 minus 3-bedroom homes at REA. There's a lot of missing data, so you're going to get a few errors in there. But you can see an area like Cornubia, that could be really interesting because an area like Cornubia has a greater disparity than a lot of other options between 4 and 3-bedroom homes based on the REA data. So you can see here, REA Cornubia, $220,000 or 26% difference between the 3-bedroom home and the 4-bedroom home price. Shayla Park, the area that I've just bought in, maybe I should think about doing a conversion to 4 bedrooms because there's a 24% or $212,000 difference. I think it's important to talk about the dollar value as well as the percentage difference between 4-bedroom and 3-bedroom homes because a renovation to do this type of conversion might cost you between $50,000 to $80,000. So if you're down here in these suburbs where there's not a lot of disparity, you pick Mount Warren Park, it's 95K, it's only a 13% disparity, and you spend 60K doing that reno to convert, you might not get much return or not get a lot of return or no return on your investment to go out and do that work. And you've got to value your time. So this is some research you can do if you're looking into that disparity between 4 and 3-bedroom homes. Now, this is a different perspective. This is looking at every single suburb, all 70 in Logan City Council, and breaking down the most expensive, the cheapest, looking at 3 and 4-bedroom homes, the difference between those price points, and giving you my perspective on what's affordable, what's not affordable, and giving you some takes on why I would look at more established locations over new build areas. Now, this is just brushing the surface. I run a Brisbane buyers agency, and there's myself and 7 staff members that cover the boots on the ground here in Southeast Queensland, networking with agents, building relationships, and understanding both the quantitative and the qualitative data behind buying properties here in Brisbane and Greater Brisbane. If you're looking for help to buy your own home or buy an investment property, head over to purposeproperty.com.au to book in a free chat with myself. We'll sit down, talk about your situation and how we might be able to help you secure a property here in Brisbane in the next 6 months. And if you got value out of this content, if you could drop a like, it takes a lot of time to put this data together. So that would be greatly appreciated. And give this video a click over here. YouTube really thinks you'll like that one, so you may as well try it out. All right. Thanks for sticking around. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.